Okay, so think about today. Our messages, emails, everything,
Yeah.
it's all wrapped up in encryption, right? Almost automatic.
Yeah, totally seamless. Most of the time, we don't even notice it.
Exactly. But then rewind. Oh, 70, 80 years. World War II. How on earth did they handle secure communications back then in a massive global conflict?
It's a whole different world, isn't it? And smack bang in the middle of that challenge, you had the Enigma code.
Right, Enigma. Okay, let's break that down. What was the Enigma code for anyone who maybe hasn't heard of it?
So it was the encryption system used by Nazi Germany.
Hmm.
And it all centered around this machine, the Enigma machine.
The actual physical machine.
Yeah, electromechanical, think rotors, wires, a plug board. Basically, it scrambled messages. And the number of ways it could do that, billions, made it seem, completely unbreakable.
Billions of combinations.
Oh,
Wow. Okay, so that's our mission for this deep dive then.
yeah.
How did they crack this thing that seemed impossible? And like, what does that whole story tell us?
Yeah, about ingenuity, maybe collaboration too. We've got some great material here looking at the machine itself and the huge effort to decode it.
So where does the story actually kick off? It wasn't Bletchley Park initially, was it?
No, not at all. You actually have to go back to Poland. In the early 1930s, there were these three brilliant mathematicians, Marian Rejewski, Jerzy Rojicki, and Henryk Cygalski.
Working for the Polish Cipher Bureau.
Exactly. And their big achievement, which is sometimes overlooked, is that they were the first ones to actually break Enigma.
The first. How did they manage that?
Well, Rejewski especially, he used some really clever mathematical analysis. But also, crucially, they exploited flaws in how the Germans were actually using the machine, procedural mistakes.
So not just the maths, but the human element too.
Right. And based on deducing the internal wiring, they built tools, things like the cyclometer
Okay.
and the Bombe, an early kind of code-breaking machine, electromechanical, to speed things up.
So they automated parts of it even back then. That's pretty amazing.
It was. But by 1938 or so, the Germans made Enigma more complex, added more rotors, that kind of thing.
Making it harder again.
Yeah, and the
Uh,
Polish team, honestly, they just didn't have the resources to keep up with the escalating complexity on their own.
which leads us to.
A really critical moment, 1939, just before the war really exploded. The Poles made a huge decision. They decided to share everything
Everything with who?
with British and French intelligence, their methods, all their findings, even working replicas of Enigma machines they'd built.
Wow. That must have been a game changer for the Allies.
Absolutely fundamental. That knowledge transfer basically laid the entire groundwork for what happened next at Bletchley Park.
Okay, so now we get to Bletchley Park. Turing, Welshman. The names people often associate with Enigma.
Precisely. And they took what the Poles had started and, well, they built on it significantly. Their big innovation was the bomb.
The British bomb.
Yeah.
Different from the Polish bomba.
Similar concept, but much larger, much faster. An electromechanical machine designed specifically to hunt for the daily Enigma settings much more rapidly. It was really about industrializing the code breaking process.
How did it work? How did it find the settings among, billions of possibilities?
They used something called cribs, basically guessed or known fragments of the original German message.
Like maybe a standard weather report opening or something.
Exactly like that. Weather report or standard greetings, call signs, predictable text. The bomb would rapidly test settings against this crib. Does this setting produce the expected letters? No. Try the next. Thousands of possibilities tested very quickly.
So it wasn't solving it from scratch each time, but using these little snippets to narrow it down dramatically.
That's the key. It turned decryption from a sort of occasional success into a systematic process. This provided that vital ultra intelligence.
Ultra. And that intelligence, well, it hugely impacted the war, didn't it?
Oh, significantly. Across multiple fronts. It really highlights that this was a collaborative effort, starting in Poland, then massively scaled up with British ingenuity and automation.
It's incredible. But it's also, kind of sobering. All this incredible brain power, this leap in technology happening because of a devastating war.
Yeah, and one of the sources we looked at brings up exactly that point. It asks, why do we often ignore these huge scientific and technological leaps when we sort of calculate the cost of war?
That's a really interesting question. We focus so much on the destruction, obviously, but maybe less on the unintended positive byproducts, if you can call them that.
It definitely makes you think about how we frame historical events.
So, wrapping this up then, what's the core takeaway from this Enigma story?
I think for me, it's that cracking Enigma wasn't just about the tech, clever as it was. It was really a powerful example of international cooperation.
Starting with that Polish decision to share.
Exactly. And it shows what human intellect can achieve even under the most intense pressure imaginable.
Collaboration and ingenuity under pressure. That's a strong message. And it leaves you wondering, doesn't it?
Mm.
Beyond World War II, are there other times where, a massive crisis, something truly awful, actually ended up pushing knowledge or innovation forward in unexpected ways?
Hmm. What other negative situations might actually hide that kind of potential for surprising breakthroughs?
Yeah, definitely something to mull over.